you don't get told no. Like, you're gonna get the yeses, you're gonna get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's gonna come soon.
Imagine Angel Reese, microphone in hand, confidently announcing on her podcast that she's building an unstoppable super team in Chicago. Now, here we are, and the Sky's locker room is strangely silent. None of the major free agents have joined the ranks. With the top players from this offseason signing with other teams, one big question remains. Why hasn't Chicago become the powerhouse Reese expected?
WNBA free agency is officially underway, Annie. So when you see these names and the options that the Sky have, what do you think that they're cooking up?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Angel and Camilla are very interesting pieces. And when you're talking about, getting the right players in here, there is intrigue when you have young core pieces like that, because you could be part of developing them and developing towards a title contending season. But the reality is the Sky are still very far from that. And so this year, the focus really has to be on getting players in who are going to bridge that gap between this season and next.
Is it the chaos in the front office that's driving players away? The facilities that barely compare to a high school gym? Or could it be that teaming up with a self-proclaimed star isn't as appealing as it seems? Not a single all-star is making their way to the Windy City, turning Reese's recruitment dreams into a bit of a fantasy. So, is this a classic case of no thanks? Let's unpack this free agency flop and see if Angel's shine is starting to dim. Get ready, it's time to dig in.
The whole city is obsessed with you.
I know, I love it
all
here.
the time.
I feel like Baltimore here. I love it here. It does.
Kind of. A little bit, little DMV action.
Yeah.
But Chicago's a number 3 market in the country.
Really?
It's New York, LA, and then Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, y'all have everything. I'm not gonna lie, y'all have everything here. Like, it's nothing here that I'm like, oh, I gotta go to a different city for it. Like, everything has been here.
Remember when Angel Reese boldly claimed she was creating a super team in Chicago? Fast forward to free agency, and the silence in the Windy City is deafening. Picture this. Angel, phone in hand, scrolling through her contacts, sending texts, making calls, even sliding into Instagram DMs. But the replies? Nothing but radio silence.
Angel Reese and Camilla Cardoso, too, have brought relevance to this team that they've desperately needed in a time when, again, if not for them, they'd be completely irrelevant because of the product that they're putting on the floor.
And also make Chicago an attractive spot when you have Angel Reese and Camilla Cardoso right there, 2 bigs that really shine in their rookie season.
So much star power available this offseason, you'd think at least one all-star would be heading to Chicago, right? Wrong. As the clock ticks on, the silence only gets more deafening. No press conferences, no hype on social media, just Angel Reese standing solo with an empty roster and a flood of unanswered questions.
So, lads, this is not great news, for the Chicago Sky, who are a team that obviously, they're rebuilding. This is a team that is 100% rebuilding. The problem is they don't own their pick. So, if the Chicago Sky run it back, they're probably not making the playoffs next year. Look, I think there's going to be an improvement from Angel Reese. I think it's going to be an improvement from Cardoso. But that team with no Kennedy Carter, it's going to be real tough to get any offensive.
Let's break it down. Kelsey Plum, Jewel Lloyd, Brittany Griner, Alyssa Thomas, Kelsey Mitchell, some of the game's brightest stars, players capable of completely turning a franchise around. And how many even gave Chicago a second thought? None. Not a single one. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Maybe there's still a chance for a surprise signing to save the day. But as contracts are locked in and rosters fill up across the league, one thing's clear. Not a single all-star chose Chicago. Angels recruitment, it didn't just miss the mark, it backfired in spectacular fashion.
So, not a good day for the Chicago Sky. Not a good day at all, because we have heard news from the journalist who reports on the WNBA, and because she is not a homer like a lot of the other people, like normally journalists are complete homers for one team. One of the actual credible journalists reported on something. Sky fans aren't happy. They all want her fired.
Here's where it gets really intriguing. The Sky's front office isn't exactly helping the cause. Take Kennedy Carter, their top scorer. They didn't even offer her a qualifying deal, practically pushing her out the door. And those trade talks? They never got off the ground. It's almost like the moment Angel's name was mentioned, both players and executives rushed ahead. In the opposite direction.
Kennedy had an incredible season for us last year, says the GM.
she's extremely talented and is a player that can impact the game at the highest level in our league. We absolutely appreciate all she did for our team last year. However, we've made changes to our staff and we'll make changes to our roster. Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team, so we wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free agent.
So, what's the story for Angel Reese, the self-styled star who envisioned herself as the Pied Piper, drawing all-stars to Chicago? Looks like she's marching solo. Talk about a reality check. But here's the burning question. What went wrong? Why did every top free agent pass on the Windy City?
Is Angel Reese, did she just run a coach out of town, and is she running a player out of town? Their best shooter out of town? Because Kennedy Carter looks like she's ready to book it out of Chicago.
While Angel Reese was busy playing recruiter, the real free, agency fireworks were going off in other cities. Imagine the flurry of deals, top players making bold moves, and Chicago left on the sidelines, watching it all unfold. Let's dive into where the stars actually chose to shine.
WNBA, the Seattle Storm are sending Jewel Lloyd to the Las Vegas Aces in a blockbuster three-team trade that moves Kelsey Plum to the LA Sparks. That's according to ESPN. As part of the deal, Seattle receives the second pick in this year's WNBA draft from LA in exchange for the Storm's number 9 pick, while the Aces also receive the 13th pick, a second-round selection from the Sparks.
First up, Kelsey Plum. You know, the sharpshooter who helped Las Vegas secure back-to-back championships? Well, she's headed to Los Angeles, making the Sparks an even bigger threat. Why LA over Chicago? It's simple. Winning culture, top-tier facilities, and a front office that knows how to get things done. Sorry, Angel, but here's the real gut punch. Jewel Lloyd had the chance to come home. That's right. Chicago is her hometown. You'd think teaming up with Reese would be a no-brainer, right? Wrong. Lloyd took one look at the Sky's situation and said, "Not for me." Instead, she's joining forces with Aja Wilson in Las Vegas. Ouch.
According to WNBA Insider, that Illinois native Jewel Lloyd will not be going to Chicago Sky. And obviously, they didn't keep Kennedy Carter. And it's looking like one player, obviously, that's been in Chicago across her careers because of her Illinois roots is Seattle Storm guard Jewel Lloyd.
Next, let's talk about Brittany Griner, the powerhouse Olympic center who dominates in the paint. She's heading to Atlanta, giving the Dream a serious edge down low. And then there's Alyssa Thomas. She's bringing her triple-double magic to Phoenix, adding even more firepower to an already stacked team. Both moves? Totally understandable. Strong front offices, clear team visions, and, of course, no Angel Reese drama.
Talk about the 3 big names you gotta know: Alyssa Thomas, Natasha Cloud, Brittany Griner. Let's start with Brittany Griner, joining Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard in Atlanta. Dream team. Brittany Griner was drafted to Phoenix in 2013, so it's kind of about time, and I'm so excited to see what Atlanta turns around this next season because they really need her. Phoenix is also losing Natasha Cloud and Beck Allen, along with the number 12 pick overall in this year's draft, to Connecticut. Connecticut is giving up the triple-double queen, Alyssa Thomas, and Ty Harris.
So, what's the takeaway here? While Angel was busy talking up her big plans, other teams were out there making real moves. Not only did these stars turn down Chicago, but they also made the competition even tougher. It's like they're running away from Angel faster than she can post her next update. But wait, there's one more move that might hurt Angel the most. While everyone's been caught up in Angel Reese's social media frenzy, something massive happened right under her nose. Remember Kelsey Mitchell, the scoring dynamo who lit it up alongside Caitlin Clark last season? Well, she just dropped a bombshell that's shaking the league. Picture this. Mitchell, pen in hand, signing a 1-year Supermax deal worth nearly $250,000. But here's the twist. It wasn't with Chicago. Nope. She's staying in Indiana.
What's up, everybody? Kelsey Mitchell here, and I'm a Fever girl again. So, to my fans, to the basketball world, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back. Indy's been good to me, and hopefully I could pour in and give the same. So, here's to being a Fever girl.
You might be thinking, it's just one player, no big deal. But trust me, this is where things get really interesting. Chicago was hungry for a superstar shooting guard, and Mitchell seemed like the ideal addition. In fact, whispers were circulating that Mitchell wasn't thrilled in Indiana and was looking to make a move to Chicago. Well, someone clearly got their wires crossed because Mitchell is sticking with Indiana. And as for Chicago's grand plans, they're back to square one.
First of all, thanks for being here. Thanks for showing Kelsey how important she is to the Indiana Fever.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So everything about Kelsey Mitchell is core, right? Core values, her core basketball, everything about her is what we're about. And so there was no way she was going anywhere else but the Indiana Fever. So this is a great day for our franchise. It starts with her. Her legacy continues in an Indiana jersey, and we're off to the races now. So.
But why? What does Mitchell know that we don't? Let's dig into it. Last season, Mitchell and Caitlin Clark were like a perfect match on the court. They spent more time together than any other duo in the league, and when they played, the Fever put up a staggering 105.1 points per 100 possessions. That's not just good, that's top-tier, championship-caliber performance. Now, here's where it gets even more intriguing. Kelly Koff, the Fever's president of basketball operations, didn't hold back when she said, "Kelsey is extremely important to the success of this, our future." Did you catch that? Our future. Not Chicago's future, not Angel's future, Indiana's future.
Trying to give myself some grace because I know I'm not the player that I want to be just yet, but also kind of patting myself on the back, telling myself that I'm still doing great.
So, what does this mean for Angel in the Sky? Well, it's not looking too great, folks. While Angel's been busy posting heavily edited workout videos and making bold claims, other teams have been quietly building something real. The Fever, they've got a clear direction, a dynamic duo, and a committed star. The Sky, they've got, well, Angel Reese and a whole lot of empty lockers. What's really going on in Chicago? Picture this. Angel Reese, surrounded by those empty lockers, frantically scrolling through her contacts. The once confident star now looks more like the last pick in a dodgeball game. The Sky's issues go far beyond one player's social media presence.
Every woman should be able to step in and be able to go into a locker room and be able to have a safe space, or go into a gym at 3 o'clock in the morning where they want to do that. So I want to be able to just invest. So it's just been great being able to see my impact on and off the court, and not just in sports, but just being able to be a cultural impact as well has just been.
Let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the absence of elephants in the Sky's practice facility. Did you know Chicago's current setup is basically like practicing in your grandma's basement compared to other WNBA teams? It's true. While other franchises are enjoying state-of-the-art facilities, the Sky are stuck in the Stone Age. And here's the kicker. Their shiny new facility won't be ready until 2026. In the fast-paced, competitive world of sports, that might as well be light years away.
According to league sources, Weatherspoon had lost a locker room because of a culture that catered to the needs of a few players. Dear Lord.
But wait, there's more. Remember when the Sky were playoff contenders? Well, last season they crashed harder than a meteorite. With a dismal 13 wins and 27 losses, they posted their worst record since 2020. It's almost as if they forgot how to play basketball overnight, despite drafting a so-called generational talent in Angel Reese.
I can't help but wonder, is that what happened here? Is Angel Reese and the way she wants to play, and I don't know if you've ever noticed her social media post, but she's very me, always. Me. Well, you may have a player that has decided that she's had enough of that.
Now, here's where it gets really juicy. Word on the street is that the Sky's locker room is about as chaotic as a cat orchestra. And who's leading this mess? You guessed it, Angel Reese. It turns out her presence might be pushing away more talent than it's drawing in. Even Gabby Williams, whom Angel personally tried to recruit, gave her a polite thanks, but no thanks. And let's not forget Kennedy Carter, who didn't mince words when she left. Ouch.
Throughout the year, WNBA players were demanding to be given credit for elevating the league. Angel Reese claimed that she was along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media. They wanted us to believe that the WNBA was exploding in popularity. They wanted to keep all the credit for themselves while downplaying the impact of the only star in the league, Caitlin Clark.
But hold on to your hats, because we're not done yet. The Sky's front office, it's like a revolving door at a busy hotel. Players coming and going, in and out, all the time. No wonder free agents are sprinting for the hills faster than you can say airball. WNBA analyst Annie Kost nailed it when she pointed out that free agents are wary of the Sky's instability. You think? So what does all this mean for Angel? Reese and the Chicago Sky? Well, it's not looking good, folks. While other teams are building dynasties, the Sky are struggling just to put together a competitive roster. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You want to look away, but you just can't.
Well, now, jealous WNBA players will have the opportunity to earn that credit. Now, players like Angel Reese, they will be given the chance to test their star power.
Remember when Angel Reese boldly claimed that people watch for her too? Well, folks, it's time for a reality check, and the numbers don't lie. Let's take a look at what happens when the self-proclaimed star of the Chicago Sky actually has to back it up on the court and in the ratings.
Yes, it is unrivaled. It is also unwatched. Look, let's be honest, we can sugarcoat it all you want, but if you don't have Caitlin Clark playing women's basketball, or if you're not the NCAA tournament playing women's basketball, you got nothing. Zero zip, nothing. Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not I.
Picture this. It's game night at Wintrust Arena, and the seats. Let's just say there's plenty of room, too. Stretch out. The TV ratings? Well, they're about as thrilling as watching paint dry. But here's where it gets interesting. When Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever roll into town, suddenly it's standing room only. The difference? It's like night and day. Now you might be thinking, but Angel's a double-double machine. Surely that counts for something. Well, yes and no. Sure, she's grabbing rebounds like they're going out of style, but when it comes to drawing in fans, not so much. The Sky's attendance numbers tell a story, and let's just say it's not exactly making the bestseller list.